Hi everybody, Matt here and welcome back to Simply Strength. In today's video, I thought I'd discuss something that I have particular experience and knowledge of, the academic discipline, such as teaching and research. More specifically, I'd like to talk about whether it's worth heading off to study for a degree, saddling yourself up with debt, unless of course you have enough money to pay for the course materials, accommodation and so on out of your own pocket. I'd guess that these individuals are in a small minority. But also whether this endeavour is necessarily worthwhile for your career and life ambitions. I can honestly say that this decision is one of the most important you'll make in your entire life, given the cost, the move away from home if necessary, the friends you'll make, networking opportunities and much more. This video was provoked by two recent videos, one from Truth Over Everything, Teenagers and MGTOW, and another from Dark Knight, the Advice on PhD Programmes video, and I've included the links below. Truth has quite rightly highlighted the fact that many successful individuals do not possess a college or university education. Moreover, he's also stressed that people should avoid liberal arts degrees lest they come out of university with considerable debts and nowhere to apply their knowledge from the degree. I can relate to this in several ways. First, when I was doing my A-levels and for most of my secondary school education, in fact, I was uninterested in school and eventually stopped applying myself wholesale. When the time came to leave after finishing my A-levels, which were rubbish, I was ready to enter the workplace and start putting some money behind me. I got a manufacturing job working in a very blue-collar warehouse environment and did this for 3 years. I worked hard and didn't put much thought into my career progression in general, at least not initially. But by contrast, a good friend at the time and his wife moved away to the same university to study for the same media studies degree, and then they both lived in the same house. I failed to see at the time how this qualification could be applied to their professional lives in any substantial capacity. They ran up their tuition and maintenance loans, then came back to live in the same hometown they started in. My friend ended up working at a garden centre for several years, I think, while she didn't get a job for a long time. Only now, 6 years on, is one of them using their degree and their job as a contributor for a music publication. Is the expense, effort and hard study justifiable from that example? In my own case, I started to grow tired of the daily grind with my job at the time. Truly, I started to feel like a basket case, just a piece of the furniture or a cog in the machine. The main duties of the job were firefighting. That is, you'd get there in the morning with everything in a mess, a full list of things to do, and by the end of the day all would be well. Then you'd come back the next day and it would be the same as the day before. Soul-destroying, mind-numbing work with no avenues for career development or progression. It may sound arrogant, maybe not, but I'd started to despise this work. This is before I realised that I was a MGTOW as well. I lay awake one Monday morning and thought, I'm better than this. I can offer more to humanity than just being an automaton. I'm going to do something about it. I'd seen that in our company, that anyone who had the big jobs, the sales jobs, the ones where you got a company car and looked all important, had degrees. However, I didn't want a degree in business or economics or what have you. I developed a huge passion for health, fitness, science and nutrition by this stage, and wanted to build on it. I also had a clear plan that I wanted to one day teach and do research in this area. I'd saved a fair bit of money after the 3 years and knew that I could afford the degree comfortably. Despite this, I still made use of loans to spread things out. I carefully selected a degree programme in exercise and health, priced it up, assessed it very carefully over a fortnight or so, and then quit my job. It wasn't a quick decision, certainly not, and I was well aware of the connotations and consequences, treating it with due care and a lot of thought. From day one of starting the course, I truly felt at home and sunk my heart and soul into it. I put in 100% at all times and embraced all aspects. Honestly, the 3-year break from education did me the world of good, and believe me when I say that I've learnt more in those 3 years and beyond than I ever learnt in school. I did very well on the course and finished with top honours. The time just flew by. And the biggest thrill for me was getting paid in a roundabout fashion to study, especially after the job that I'd done before. All around me, fellow students would moan about getting up for a 2-hour lecture at 9 AM for 3 days per week. Absolutely unbelievable. I had to get up at 5 AM for work and it was non-stop. So I gained that perspective that so few students manage to get. They just go straight from school into a degree and then have a system shock when they finally start work full time. Obviously this isn't true for all, but it is for a lot. During my degree, I absolutely busted my ass doing a number of unpaid internships to boost my CV. So many people have degrees now, after all, especially undergraduate degrees, and you really need to differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack. Networking is also highly important as many jobs are not even advertised. Check out the link from Forbes below. It became abundantly clear to me that I would need a master's degree, but even more importantly, the passion to do one if I was going to be able to reach my career goal. I was still very much interested in exercise physiology and nutrition and decided to pursue this endeavour. I moved away from home and took on a master's degree in this area, as I still had plenty of money left over. During my undergrad and masters, I only worked odd days away from my academic studies, doing work as a student ambassador and so on, leading campus tours, doing question and answer sessions with prospective students and their families. I also once again did a lot of internship placements to further develop the CV. Something that I discovered was that the higher you push yourself, that is, the more work that's required cumulatively, the people around you drop by the wayside. For example, in my first year of undergraduate study, there were about 150 students on the programme. By the second year, there were about 80, then the third about 40. By my master's, there were probably about 25 course students. I completed my master's having put my all into it, but by now I was completely broke. All of my savings had been spent on rent, food, the degree itself, which cost about £4,500, and other bills. Fortunately, I applied for and got the job as a part-time lecturer and researcher in the area. I'd never done any teaching before, just presentations, but threw everything into it. I was so nervous before my first session I was nearly sick, but I just got on with it. I think that's the best way to overcome your fears, just to simply address them head on. I also got involved with a wide range of research projects that eventually led to publishing some academic papers. Looking back at my school grades, this would have seemed inconceivable. Without my undergraduate and master's degrees, though, this would not have been possible, as these qualifications were prerequisites for the role. Since beginning these positions, I have still continued to do a lot of work for no pay, purely to benefit my CV, knowledge, skills and experience. I've also forged strong working relationships and networks with many individuals across a range of disciplines. I now have strong ambitions to pursue PhD study, and my research interests have expanded to include exercise biochemistry and immunology. I watched Dark Knight's video the other day on choosing a PhD programme, and although the process differs slightly across the Atlantic, his video resonated with me 100%. Everybody has an undergrad now, and this is also becoming apparent for master's degrees. I've realised that for funded PhD positions, the number of candidates applying is increasing year on year. With that said, you need clarity about the nature of the work involved and be ready to bust your ass. Being a MGTOW certainly helps in this respect, as there are no distractions to drain your time and resources. Ultimately, however, passion and graft are the key prerequisites. As Truth has asserted many times, the resources are there to learn anything online now, and the examples he included in his video are plain for all to see. In my opinion, the only limiting factors for attaining most things are your capacity for hard work, the amount of passion you have for the area, and a clear plan of action. I believe that it's possible to learn anything with the right level of commitment, and the extent to which someone is smart has less to do with innate talent than sheer graft. Check out Stefan Molyneux's video, Screw Talent, one of my favourite videos on YouTube and mandatory viewing, in my opinion. In my case, undertaking academic study was highly worthwhile and justified the expense. However, through my experience teaching to date across both undergraduate and master's students, I've learned that many students don't belong on the programme. They're simply there to bide the time and avoid having to do any real work. When I was studying, I hardly ever went out clubbing or any of that, purely because I saw it as a waste of time and money. Some of the students I've taught, especially first-year students, are only interested in this aspect, and their work ethic is deplorable. They absolutely do not belong. I look at these people and can't comprehend their thought process. Why waste your youth, time and money on the course if you're just going to piss it up the wall? They don't understand the potential and opportunity available to them, and worse yet, don't understand the amount of graft and hard work required. These people have no business doing the degree, and if you are one of these people, please don't. Go and get a job, put some money behind you until you truly decide what you want to do in life. What pisses me off more is people that get a degree with a shit classification because of a lack of effort compared to someone else that busted their ass and they both get the same degree. Completely unfair, but some people are happy to give a bad account of themselves, I guess. To sum up, my university education to date has provided me with not just knowledge and skills, it's also completely changed me as a person, given me close friends for life, provided several networking and professional opportunities, made me totally independent, and helped me attain a job I thoroughly enjoy, despite it being a lot of hard work. So, I thought I'd outline some key questions you need to ask yourself before studying for a degree, whether undergraduate or PhD. Number 1. Do I have the necessary passion and enthusiasm for the discipline or area of study? Number 2, can I afford the course, be that from my own finances or loans? Also, will I be able to withstand the debt that will result? Number 3, have I chosen the right institution? Number 4, am I ready to bust my ass, work hard and graft like hell? And number 5, will I be able to apply my degree, i.e. towards getting the job I want, using the skills and knowledge to further my career or build a business, and so on and so forth? If you are unsure about any of these, do as truth says and get a part-time job whilst you decide what you want to do. Study is not reserved exclusively for colleges and universities. Get some books. I'll be providing a reading list at some point on this channel. Watch engaging videos on YouTube about different areas, follow blogs, and really develop and foster your passions. Most importantly, it will feel right to you when you make the decision. There can be no doubt at all that I can tell you it's a huge decision with bigger implications year on year. I was fortunate to get my undergrad in before the fees went up. The newer generation is not so lucky. So please heed my advice, critique it, learn from others on this issue and make a calculated, empirical decision on this matter. I'd appreciate your comments, thoughts and perspective down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you found this video useful and would like to help me continue to make the best videos possible, please check out my Patreon page. Thank you and take care.